Don't Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's talk middleweights and let's talk a little bit of Golovkin. We know Golovkin's looking for an opponent for May the 5th after Canelo's positive dope test. I think that's the biggest boxing news, or some of it. Everyone knows of that. And, we've been watching the opponents that he's trying to get instead of the opponents that are there that want to fight him. I think even the casual fans know about the opponents that want to fight him. All of them, his mandatory challengers. Matter of fact, Derenchenko, he's trying to get him stripped for not defending against him. But so the Golovkin team are vigorously looking for people. We heard Vanis Martirosyan, and you heard of Spike O'Sullivan, right? And you heard of Mundial. Those guys. Well, let's go to Spike O'Sullivan. We were complaining that that's not a good fight. Well, all these people in the, Jacobs, the names, Andrade, Charlo, and Derenchenko, those stay right there, right? Instead of those guys, because they're a little bit too hard. Let's be what it is, what they're saying. They're too hard to fight right there, right now. So we're like, Spike O'Sullivan, are you kidding me? Well, listen, here's the thing. Spike O'Sullivan had to turn down that fight. Now you know why. He said because they offered him this amount of money, and then they halved it. And Spike O'Sullivan has said himself, he said, I think they were looking for easier touches. Right? Now, I waited a couple of days. I was like, because I've been on this pretty hard when it comes to Canelo failing the dope test, and when it comes to Golovkin looking for different opponents, and none of them are worthy of getting in the ring with him. And always smaller. And I was saying, listen, Gennady Golovkin has had enough junior middleweights pulled up to fight him. Enough. I hope his fans even know that. Maybe not, then look at what these guys are weighing. Right? So that's enough of that now. You're supposed to be the best 25 in the last 25 years, one of the best middleweights. And most avoided fighter, period, in the game just a year ago. So we hold you to higher expectations. And that's why. If somebody was just saying Golovkin's a serviceable fighter, we probably wouldn't be paying attention. But we pay attention to people they put at number 1 pound for pound. Why wouldn't we? We pay attention to people they put in the top 10 pound for pound, above other fighters that you like. Well, why are they in front? And this behavior is not indicative of someone who needs to be there. That's what's up. So a Spike O'Sullivan saying that he's looking for an easier opponent than Spike O'Sullivan is not what worthy of a number 1 pound for pound or a top 10 pound for pound, even on short notice. Because what people are trying to forget about this short notice is I was training for Canelo Alvarez, who was supposed to be the face of boxing in a hard fight. So if I'm training for Canelo Alvarez, I'm supposed to be vigorously doing something in training. So all these other dudes who are supposed to be lesser opponents than Canelo Alvarez, which they're not, but they're supposed to be. That's what the mainstream media would have you believe. If he's training for Canelo, then all the other right-handers that are less than him shouldn't be a problem, especially if you know about him 6 weeks before the fight. Right? So even if a Spike O'Sullivan is saying he was looking for an easier touch than him, what does that tell you? All right? It's ridiculous if you ask me, but whatever. Let's see what Golovkin fans say about that, because I don't really know what it is to say. I hope they just call that May 5th date off and just let him prepare for someone who's, who will give him a fight, which is pretty much everybody who got their hands up. Now, you had the Japanese guy, Murata. You better be careful about him. He's decent. He's the regular champion in the 160-pound division. Regular champion means nothing. It just means he's a very serviceable fighter. His claim to fame was that win over Ndam. He got robbed the first time. The second time he handled his business. But he beats a guy, Blandemora, yesterday. And he beats him in 8 rounds. But let me just say this. Blandemora was 27-3 with 5 KOs. 5 from 30 fights. Which means it's Willie Monroe 2.0. Okay? Which means you're not really worried about what's coming back at you. Murata looked good in that fight. No doubt about it, but his promoter, Bob Arum, is already talking about a fall fight with Golovkin on pay-per-view. Now, if you're going to get on pay-per-view for beating Blandemora and then Dom, right? Then something is wrong, right? That something is wrong. Because if that is possible to happen, look what we're looking at. We're saying Jacobs isn't worthy by May 5th. Demetrius Andrade isn't worthy. Darian Chinko isn't worthy. And Jamal Charlo isn't worthy. Then those last two are mandatory. But Murata beating Blandemora will be able to be on pay-per-view against Golovkin in the fall. Now, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But here's another thing. You got to imagine, if that were to happen, I don't know if Golovkin right now would want to fight Murata. Because Murata, even though he's Japanese, watch him from the back when he fights. He looks like Vladimir Klitschko from the back, from his last fight. I haven't seen the Blandemora fight, because once I seen he was 27-3 with 5 KOs, I was like, well, that's NBA playoffs, so I ain't got time for that one. I'm pretty sure if Murata is anything, he's going to handle that business. I'll get to that another day, right? But from the back, he looks like Vladimir Klitschko, so I like him just because of that, right? But I just don't think you need to be jumping into a Golovkin fight without fighting any of these other formidable guys before. Somebody, formidable that we like, whoa, he beat him. Now he's the man. That hasn't happened, and that's why I don't think he should be in pay-per-view. I don't think Golovkin should be having that. I think Golovkin should be forced to fight someone worthy. But I thought this might be news. Spike O'Sullivan was telling you why he didn't take that fight. They have the money, and he thinks that they're looking for someone easier than himself. Y'all check that out. Doing Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.